The islands of the Caribbean were formed through a complex geological process involving volcanic activity and tectonic plate movement. This process began around 20 million years ago and continues to shape the region today. The specific geological history of Martinique involves volcanic activity. The island was formed primarily through volcanic eruptions along a subduction zone where the North American plate slides beneath the Caribbean plate. This subduction process led to the formation of a volcanic arc, known as the Lesser Antilles Volcanic Arc, which includes Martinique and other nearby islands. The volcanoes on Martinique are part of this volcanic arc and have been active for millions of years. The island's landscape is characterized by volcanic peaks, lush valleys, and coastal plains, all shaped by volcanic activity and subsequent erosion. The most recent volcanic eruption on Martinique occurred in 1902 when Mount Pelee erupted catastrophically, destroying the town of Saint-Pierre and causing significant loss of life. The earliest human settlements on Martinique quite recently when the island was inhabited by the Arawak people, who were skilled fishermen and farmers. They established villages and practiced agriculture, growing crops such as cassava, sweet potatoes and maize. The Arawak culture flourished until around 600 when they were displaced by the arrival of the Carib people, who were more warlike and aggressive. The Caribs, also known as Kalinago, dominated the island until the arrival of European colonizers in the late 50th century. European colonization of Martinique began in 1493 when Christopher Columbus sighted the island during his second voyage to the Americas. However, it wasn't until the 70th century that the French established permanent settlements, primarily for the cultivation of sugarcane and tobacco. The island became a major center of the Atlantic slave trade, with enslaved Africans brought to work on the plantations. Today, Martinique is an overseas region of France with a diverse population reflecting its colonial history and cultural influences. The development of tourist infrastructure, such as hotels and resorts, can lead to the destruction and fragmentation of natural habitats, displacing native fauna species. It also often results in higher levels of pollution, and demand for seafood by tourists can lead to overfishing of local fish populations, disrupting marine food chains and endangering vulnerable species. Tourists may inadvertently introduce invasive species through activities like hiking or bringing exotic pets. High levels of human activity in tourist areas can disturb wildlife, leading to stress, altered behaviors, and reduced breeding success among species sensitive to human presence. On the other hand, tourism is the main economic contribution on which the island's year-round residents depend. Today, Martinicans know how to respect the non-human residents of this piece of land. Protection programs are in place to preserve Martinique's most beautiful assets. Few fossils have been found on Martinique due to the geological nature of the island's volcanic rocks, and the few fossils found are as old as the island itself. Among them is Aturia, a nautilus characterized by a smooth, highly involute, discoidal shell with a complex suture and subdorsal siphuncle. And a few bivalve mollusks like a museum, indicating a completely marine ecosystem before the volcanic eruptions that created the Caribbean islands. Mollusks such as land snails are very abundant on these islands, with many shell remains of species unlike any present-day species, indicating a continual turnover of this fauna since their arrival. Their extinction is difficult to date. The Martinique macaw is a hypothetical extinct species of macaw which may have been endemic to Martinique. It was scientifically named by Walter Rothschild in 1905, based on a description of blue and orange-yellow macaws by Jacques Boutin from around 1630. No other evidence of its existence is known, but it may have been identified in contemporary artwork. The Martinique Amazon is not known from any material remains, but was said to be similar to the red-necked Amazon from Dominica, the next major island to the north of Martinique. Natives are known to have traded extensively in parrots between the Antilles, and it seems that the Martinique population was in some way related to or even descended from the species. This scorpion is only known from a single male collected in 1884 in the northern range of Martinique. The species epithet based on the fact that this taxon was already extinct when it was described. Also, the reason of its extinction is unknown. The biology of the Martinique curly-tail lizard, the reasons for its extinction and the date of extinction are unknown. Though Martinique is assumed as its geographic range, there was some confusion about the type locality in the past. Of the 3 specimens in Paris, the largest female is measured at 14 cm snout-to-vent length, and the largest male at 13 cm. The Martinique giant ameiva was a species of lizard in the family Teiidae. It is believed to have been endemic to this island. It is known only from museum specimens collected by early European explorers. Its extinction may have been caused by a hurricane, or through the introduction of predatory species to the island. Martinique giant rice rat was as big as a cat, and was one of the first Caribbean mammals to become extinct during the 20th century. It may have been semi-aquatic, as it was known to escape into the sea when pursued by predators, but it never swam away from the island. It was common on Martinique, until European settlers tried to exterminate it because it was considered to be a pest of the island's coconut plantations. On May 8, 1902, the volcano Mount Pelee erupted. It has been speculated that the rat became extinct then or during a later eruption this year, but predation by introduced small Indian mongooses is more likely to have been the primary cause of its extinction. The final extinction of the Caribbean monk seal was triggered by 2 main factors. The most visible factor contributing to its demise was the non-stop hunting and killing of the seals in the 80th and 90th centuries to obtain the oil held within their blubber. The insatiable demand for seal products in the Caribbean encouraged hunters to slaughter the seals by the hundreds. Its docile nature and lack of flight instinct in the presence of humans made them very easy to kill. The second factor was the overfishing of the reefs that sustained its population. With no fish or mollusks to feed on, the seals that were not killed by hunters for oil died of starvation. The burrowing owl is a species still present in North and South America, and it is even considered least concern in these regions. However, remains of these birds have been found on the Antillean Islands, indicating their presence during the Pleistocene. These birds became extinct probably because of ecological and sea level changes at the end of the last ice age rather than human activity. These fossil owls differed in size from present-day burrowing owls, and their relationship to the modern taxon has not been resolved. Regarding the house wren, it's the same case. These birds still exist on the American continent but have disappeared from the Antilles. Several factors seem to have contributed to a varying degree to the decline of these birds, namely habitat destruction, predation by introduced mongooses and hurricanes. In the azure waters surrounding Martinique, a kaleidoscope of marine life awaits discovery. From colorful coral reefs to majestic sea creatures, the island's coastal ecosystem is teeming with diversity. Dive beneath the surface, and you'll find yourself immersed in a world of vibrant colors and fascinating creatures. Schools of tropical fish dart among coral formations, their iridescent scales catching the sunlight. Brightly colored parrotfish nibble on coral, while graceful angelfish glide effortlessly through the water. Octopuses, with their 8 tentacles and remarkable problem-solving abilities, are among the most elusive inhabitants of Martinique's waters. They can be found hiding in crevices and coral formations, emerging only to hunt for prey under the cover of darkness. Squid, with their sleek bodies and jet-propelled swimming abilities, are swift and agile predators. They often hunt in schools, using their keen senses to detect the slightest movement in the water. On land, you'll find a variety of spider species weaving intricate webs among the foliage. These arachnids play a crucial role in controlling insect populations, serving as natural pest controllers in the island's ecosystems. While some spiders are tiny and elusive, others, like the colorful orb weavers, create large, intricate webs that shimmer in the sunlight. Along the sandy shores and rocky coastlines, crabs scuttle across the sand, their claws raised in defense or ready to snatch up a meal. From tiny ghost crabs that blend seamlessly with the beach to larger land crabs that burrow into the coastal soil, these crustaceans are a common sight along Martinique's shores. Venture into the island's mangrove forests, and you'll encounter a different cast of characters: mangrove crabs. These hardy crustaceans are specially adapted to life in the brackish waters of the mangroves, where they play a vital role in recycling nutrients and aerating the soil. The lush rainforests and verdant valleys, a dazzling array of insects can be found. From colorful beetles and delicate dragonflies to industrious ants and buzzing bees, these tiny creatures play essential roles in pollination, decomposition, and nutrient cycling. Some, like the spectacular blue morpho butterfly, are a sight to behold as they flutter through the forest canopy, their iridescent wings catching the sunlight. Along the coastal areas, you'll encounter a different assortment of insects adapted to the sandy shores and salty air. Beach-dwelling beetles scuttle across the sand, while sandflies and mosquitoes buzz overhead. Despite their small size, these insects are integral parts of the coastal ecosystem, providing food for birds, fish, and other wildlife. In addition to insects, Martinique is also home to a diverse array of butterflies. These delicate creatures flit among the flowers, their colorful wings adding a splash of beauty to the island's landscapes. With their intricate patterns and graceful flight, butterflies are a joy to observe and photograph, attracting nature enthusiasts from around the world. From colorful reef fish to sleek pelagic predators, the variety of fish found in Martinique's coastal waters is astounding. Vibrant parrotfish, with their beak-like mouths and striking colors, graze on coral reefs, while schools of shimmering damselfish dart among the corals, seeking shelter from larger predators. In deeper waters, you'll encounter larger species like barracuda, jackfish, and tuna, their streamlined bodies built for speed and agility. These apex predators play crucial roles in maintaining the health of marine ecosystems, helping to regulate prey populations and maintain balance in the food chain. Martinique's waters are also home to a variety of reef-dwelling species, including moray eels and stingrays. These fascinating creatures can often be found hiding among the coral formations, camouflaged against their surroundings or waiting patiently for unsuspecting prey to pass by. Whether you're snorkeling along the coral reefs, casting a line from a boat, or simply admiring the view from shore, the diversity of fish in Martinique's waters is sure to captivate and inspire. It's a testament to the island's healthy marine ecosystems and the importance of conservation efforts to protect these fragile habitats for future generations to enjoy. sea turtles are a beloved symbol of the Caribbean. These majestic creatures can often be spotted gliding gracefully through the crystal-clear waters surrounding Martinique, their sleek shells shimmering in the sunlight. Nesting on sandy beaches, they return year after year to lay their eggs, contributing to the continuation of their species. Despite facing numerous threats, including habitat loss and pollution, efforts to protect sea turtles in Martinique are ongoing, ensuring their survival for generations to come. On land, Martinique is home to several species of lizards, including the endemic Martinique anole. These fascinating reptiles can be found basking in the sun, their colorful scales blending seamlessly with their surroundings. Agile climbers, they dart among the branches of trees and shrubs, hunting for insects and seeking refuge from predators. While some species, like the Martinique racer, are endemic to the island, others, such as the introduced green iguana, have become established in the wild. Hummingbirds and a diverse array of other bird species contribute to the rich tapestry of avian life in Martinique, each playing a vital role in the island's ecology. Hummingbirds, with their iridescent plumage and rapid wing beats, are among the most iconic and captivating birds found in Martinique. Species such as the Antillean crested hummingbird and the green-throated carib can be seen darting among the flowers, sipping nectar with their specialized beaks. These tiny birds are not only pollinators but also key players in maintaining the health of the island's floral communities, helping to ensure the reproduction of many plant species. But hummingbirds are just the beginning. Martinique is home to an immense variety of bird species, ranging from colorful songbirds to majestic raptors. In the island's forests and woodlands, you may encounter the melodious songs of the yellow-shouldered oriole or the rhythmic tapping of the black woodpecker. Along the coastlines and mangrove swamps, herons, egrets, and pelicans can be seen fishing and roosting, while seabirds such as frigate birds and tropic birds soar overhead. Each species has its own unique ecological niche, feeding habits, and behaviors, contributing to the intricate web of life that sustains Martinique's ecosystems. Some birds, like the insect-eating warblers, help control pest populations, while others, such as seed-dispersing thrushes, play a crucial role in maintaining forest diversity. Birds of prey, such as the red-tailed hawk and the peregrine falcon, help regulate prey populations and maintain ecosystem balance. Rodents, including species such as the Martinique agouti, play vital roles as seed dispersers and prey for predators. The agouti, a large rodent native to Martinique's forests, helps to maintain the health of the ecosystem by spreading seeds from the fruits it consumes. Additionally, rodents serve as an important food source for predators such as snakes, birds of prey, and mammals like the introduced mongoose. Bats, on the other hand, are crucial pollinators and insect controllers. Several bat species inhabit Martinique, including fruit bats and insect-eating bats. Fruit bats play a key role in pollinating flowering plants and dispersing seeds, contributing to the reproduction and diversity of plant species. Insect-eating bats help control insect populations, including agricultural pests, reducing the need for chemical pesticides and promoting a healthier environment. The mongoose was introduced to Martinique in the 19th century with the intention of controlling rat populations in sugarcane fields. However, the mongoose quickly became an invasive species, preying on native birds, reptiles, and small mammals. Its presence has contributed to the decline of many endemic species, including ground-nesting birds and reptiles, and has disrupted the natural balance of the island's ecosystems. Similarly, the introduction of raccoons to Martinique has had negative consequences for native wildlife. Raccoons are opportunistic omnivores and have been known to prey on birds, eggs, and small mammals. Their presence poses a threat to ground-nesting birds, sea turtle nests, and other vulnerable species, exacerbating the pressures already facing native fauna. Wild boars, introduced for hunting purposes, have also become invasive on the island. These large mammals root up vegetation, damage crops, and disturb soil, impacting native plant communities and increasing erosion. Their presence can also lead to competition with native herbivores for food resources, further disrupting ecological balance. Throughout the year, various species of cetaceans can be spotted off the coast of Martinique, from acrobatic spinner dolphins to massive humpback whales. These marine mammals are highly migratory, traveling long distances between feeding and breeding grounds, making the waters around Martinique a vital part of their annual migration routes. Among the most iconic of Martinique's cetaceans are the humpback whales, which migrate to the Caribbean each winter to breed and give birth. These gentle giants can often be seen breaching and slapping their tails as they court, mate, and care for their young in the warm, sheltered waters off the island's coast. In addition to humpback whales, other species commonly sighted around Martinique include sperm whales, pilot whales, and various species of dolphins, such as spotted dolphins and bottlenose dolphins. These highly social animals are often seen swimming and playing in groups, their sleek bodies slicing through the waves with grace and agility. Snails arrived on the island of Martinique primarily through natural means such as wind dispersal, attachment to migrating birds, or hitching rides on floating debris like driftwood. Once on the island, the snails adapted to the local environmental conditions, diversifying into various species over time. Many of these species became endemic to Martinique due to the island's isolation, unique habitats, and geological history. With limited opportunities for migration and colonization from external sources, snails on Martinique evolved in isolation, leading to the development of distinct species found nowhere else in the world. This isolation, coupled with diverse microhabitats across the island, has contributed to the high level of endemism observed among Martinique's snail populations. Antilles' pink-toe tarantulas are arboreal. They spin elaborate funnel webs in which they spend most of their time. Spiderlings are bright blue with a black tree trunk pattern on the abdomen. As they grow, they gradually lose their blue coloration. The carapace turns green, the abdomen red, and the legs turn green with pink tarsi and a covering of purple hairs. Anablepsoides are mostly found in shallow freshwater swamps, streams, edges of rivers, ponds and pools, but a few may occur in brackish estuaries. They are able to jump over land and breathe air for short periods, allowing them to access isolated waters inhabited by few or no other fish. Martinique volcano frog is endemic to Martinique, where it is found at high-altitude areas including Mount Pelee and potentially most of the Carbet Mountains. It is threatened by climate change, which has led to it being extirpated from the lower-lying reaches of its already small range, and may lead to a continued population decline and range contraction. Martinique anole varies in body size, shape, scalation, and coloration. Its dorsal surface ranges from green to gray-green, brown, or gray-brown, with some populations also having areas of blue-green color. Its ventral and dewlap colors also vary. Its markings include dark marbling, spots, and chevrons, and light markings including flank stripes. It is unusual among anoles in having a voice. It can make a squeaking noise when it is caught. As ambush predators, Martinique lancehead typically wait patiently somewhere for unsuspecting prey to wander by. It is known to select a specific ambush site and return to it every year in time for the spring migration of birds. Studies have indicated these snakes learn to improve their strike accuracy over time. The snake is diurnal and lives on the ground, usually hidden under leaves and wood. It hunts reptiles and amphibians. The importation to Martinique of other species of snakes, and of mongooses to control them, have driven it to near extinction. The Greater Martinique skink is a species of skink found on Martinique. It has shiny, bronze-colored skin, with a pair of light stripes that run along its upper flanks. It was previously thought to be widespread throughout the neotropics, but a taxonomic revision in 2005 established it as endemic to Martinique. With its new, restricted distribution, it is feared to be possibly extinct. The two-lined blind snake. It is dark brown with two yellow stripes along its sides. It was once known as the world's smallest snake, being small enough to slither through a pencil if the lead were removed. Its typical length is 11 centimeters. Originally present in many habitat types below 700 meters, the Martinique oriole is now mainly found in mangroves and dry forests. It generally likes to distance itself from heavily urbanized communities. It places its nest on the underside of wide leaves such as that of a banana plant or palm. Once the nests have been formed, they typically lay 2 or sometimes 3 eggs. Its preferred habitat is in moist highland habitats. However, it could also be found in lowland dry forest habitats.